there, my name's Julia. I'm 55 years old, have my PhD, and I'm a registered psychologist. I'm also South Asian and a mom. In this podcast, we explore the differences and similarities between our generations. I want the conversations to create a space that fosters intrigue, curiosity, and fascination. Thanks for listening.
Hi, my name's Reeya, and I'm a Gen Z, currently 18, turning 19. I'm in a program at university right now called Neuroscience and Psychology, which I'm really interested in pursuing. I wanted to create this podcast to help express myself and be more in tune with my feelings and also help create an environment where other people can feel the same.
So, today we're going to be talking about the idea of impression management, particularly in terms of me and Reeya, and something that just happened this morning that prompted this idea. So we got on our Zoom call to do this recording, and Reeya said, "Hey, do you think that we could turn the cameras off today? Because, it's the morning and I just feel more comfortable." Is that fair, Reeya, what I just said?
Yeah, that's exactly true. For
Okay.
I automatically just started thinking that I just woke up like an hour ago, I need time to kind of get into how I look throughout the day rather than look morning-ish, I guess, like the swollen face kind of like just feeling not as presentable. So, can we please have the cameras off?
Yeah, and totally, and of course I said yes. But what I also said was, "It's so funny because I, jumped on, I took a shower, my hair's wet, and I kind of didn't do myself up at all," which I don't do, but, like, it was just kinda funny because I know that, growing up South Asian, I mean, growing up period in culture today, society today, especially for women, that, the impression does make a difference. The funniest part for me was that we're not actually recording this podcast with video, meaning we are recording with video, but we're not actually publishing the video part at any point. So it was just about me seeing her, and that's where it's just so amazing that it just doesn't matter, right? Even where you're comfortable, it's like, "No, but I'm supposed to look a certain way, right? I don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable." So, but I do wanna separate out, I don't feel comfortable versus I should look a certain way, because I think in this case, you're saying I didn't feel comfortable.
For me, I think it's both in a way, like, I feel comfortable with you, like, I know I've been on Zoom calls where, like, I don't feel my absolute best and, like, looks-wise, so that part's not, like, a big deal, but it's like, today I was kinda just like, maybe I shouldn't." Like, hair's kinda messy, just, like, in random clothes. And then I guess there is a little part where, like, growing up, my parents have always told me, look presentable. Like, that's my dad's biggest thing is, like, you need to look presentable wherever you go, like, whoever you're talking to. Like, so a little part of me that's always there, like, put yourself together. So then
Hmm.
I was kinda taking a step back this morning and being like, "I don't think I do look presentable right now."
Right. Right. Yes. Okay. So there is that wiring then, right? It wasn't more about, hey, check in with my own gut. I'm just feeling a little tired and I don't want to, have to like focus on the camera or something. It did have a good amount of wiring from the past, like messaging you received around you should be presentable when you're showing up to a meeting or to whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also, like, growing up, going all the way back to middle school, but, like, South Asian women, like, some of us have more hair than others, for example.
Hmm.
And, like, growing up, like, I had a unibrow, I had a mustache, like, that's just what it was.
Sure.
And people would point it out at school, and I feel like that kind of made it more to try to look better because I was already insecure of 2 things that I was like, "Oh, now that I don't have it, like, I constantly am just like, okay, I have to look presentable, I have to look presentable," because I don't want anyone to point anything out because that insecurity trailed for a while, do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, it's horrible to have someone point something like that out. Meaning people at school, like other like students or more
Yeah,
like, yeah.
like students, but, like, specifically boy students.
Oh, wow. So then,
Yeah.
like, in a make fun of way?
It was definitely that way. It was kind of just like maybe they thought it was just like a joke, but to like a girl who wanted to be all girly girl and stuff like that, that's not really a joke to me. I was kind of just like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's awful. I'm sorry that happened. It's not okay, and like you said, maybe they thought they were trying to be funny, but it's really we have to know the impact we're having, and I get with middle school, whatever, but it's still we need to teach, our boys about how to respect and honor, us as ourselves as human beings, but I guess that's this next generation, hopefully, we're gonna start seeing some changes in that, which I think we're gonna talk about in a different episode as well around short skirts and our bodies and all that, so it's actually reminding me of, my own, middle school experience, so I had gone to India for a year on a sabbatical with my father, like, my father's sabbatical, and which was an incredible experience, which we can talk about also on another episode if we feel like it, but the when I returned, I went straight into grade 8. I kind of skipped grade 7, so to speak, and went right in. Totally new adjustment, new school. All my friends had kinda moved on, made new friendships, and then I had turned into, like, a short-haired girl when I got home. I don't remember if I had short hair in India or not, to be honest, but I got home and I remember going to, like, a party and yes, in grade 8, I went to a party. It's kinda shocking.
Oh, wow.
Now
Okay.
that I look back, but it was at someone's house, and
Okay.
I just remember I went up to this boy because I guess I was bold, and I just said, "Did you wanna dance?" And
Oh, wow.
I know, right? As I'm reflecting on this story, I'm like, "Wow, what the heck?" But he turned around and he smiled, and he's like, "Why would I dance with a boy?"
That's so nice.
He genuinely thought I was a boy, like, I
Oh,
actually ended up becoming friends with him later, but the in that moment, I was obviously, like, just really taken aback and crushed and went home after, and I was just, like, looking in the mirror, I remember, and it's just like, well, interestingly enough, I do kinda look like a boy, like, I I have, the short hair and whatever, but I was very comfortable in that, like, state, like, that's I love just kinda being casual, and I always was, like, if you and maybe we can post a picture, I don't know if that works on these sites, but a picture of me when I was, like, I don't know, 7 years old or 8 years old, where I'm standing in jeans and a t-shirt and a baseball cap with a baseball bat, and, like, that was
mm,
me in my prime, that was my favorite way to dress, t-shirt and pants,
yeah.
so that always stayed with me, drove my family crazy, "Don't you ever wanna wear a dress?" Like, "No, no, I don't." Like,
Yeah.
"Don't you wanna wear makeup and do your hair?" "No, no, not really." So I was always presentable, but I never and still today, don't barely wear makeup. Like,
Okay.
I I had in my 20s, I guess there was a time when I put on a little more makeup, but it was very minimal, to the point where even at my wedding, I'm like I don't want a makeup artist, like, I don't want somebody to come and do that, and
Yeah.
ultimately, I did get someone, but I was very clear, like, really mild, like, so you can barely tell that I have makeup on, and she did a beautiful job with it, I was very happy with it, but it's very important for me to the natural self,
Yeah.
and that's what makes me comfortable, and that's what makes me be present and more alive. So if I, was worrying about impressions all the time, I wouldn't be able to be as present, right?
Yeah.
So it's fed me as a human being for psychology, like it's really served me in that part of my life for sure. But it's not without a lot of criticism and frustration from family and even friends like, hey, don't you wanna dress up or wear this or do that? I'm like, not particularly. like I,
Yeah.
you know, But I'll just add to that to say that, society does say the power woman should be in heels and, like sharp dressed and all of that. And I just don't agree with that. That does not make me feel powerful at all. It makes me feel uncomfortable and self-conscious and like, yeah, it's never resonated for me. So
Mhm.
I just want to emphasize that even though this impression management thing is so big, I want people, like, and including you, to really look into what makes you the most comfortable, the most empowered, right? And it may be to dress up and put on heels and, do that whole totally. Like, there's no right or wrong to this, but there seems to be the societal belief that as a woman, you should be in this, and I am a woman, and I disagree.
I think I agree. I feel like I've always been a very girly person, like, and just I like when my hair is done, I like when my nails are done, but I've also always been do it yourself, like DIY. Like,
Mm,
I do my own nails, like, I've gotten kits. I've learned how to do all the hairstyles you can possibly think of.
mhm,
Like, that stuff I've always wanted to do on my own because, again, like you said, I like to control the naturalness of it.
right.
I feel like a lot of the times, like, I don't really wear much makeup, but I also have those days where I'm like, "Yeah, like, let me go all out." But going to, like, the point of, like, you feel the most powerful when you look a certain way, I don't really agree with that. I feel like it again, like, it's so different for everyone.
Mhm, exactly.
If I'm wearing heels, I'm thinking about, "Oh, my feet hurt." Like, I want
Mhm,
these off. Like, I wouldn't feel the most confident and powerful, like, just wearing trainers or, like, just a nice flat pair of shoes is good with me.
exactly.
I feel like it would be nice, like, once in a while to, like, throw on, like, a business professional outfit, but I still don't know if I'd feel the most, like, powerful, like, I would just feel like, okay for me, powerful is more like the mindset I have in the moment, like,
Uh-huh.
I really know what I'm talking about or if I'm really just, like, passionate about a certain topic, I feel the most powerful in that moment, depending how I don't really care how I look in that moment.
Mm,
So,
nice,
yeah, for me, it's more on the mindset.
nice. I love that. I love that. And just to add a little bit more, it's interesting because there was a time in my 20s when I remember I did love, how you said, looking sort of sharp and looking, really where that still felt powerful, and I would be in, like, really nice blazers, and this wasn't to go to work, this was actually to go out, but it was I felt really good in that. I did always wear flats, no question, right? I tried heels, but honestly, it was hurting my back. It was not conducive to me at all. So, but there was definitely phases and stages where, we can go in and out of certain levels of showing up dressed a certain way, but all of it was still in the realm of, like, look what I said, blazer, right? You know what I mean? It still had a tomboy quality to it, even though they were girls' blazers, and that was sort of suiting me, so it was like a nice balance. So I think that's again, it's really important just to kinda check in at the stage you're at, the phase you're at. There's no right or wrong. This can change in a few years too, right? But overall, what I've seen is my theme is it's okay to be a tomboy and still be a powerful woman, and that's the message that I want others to hear because I think it's really, really important, especially with the way we're, you know, conditioned to hear, "Oh, again, skirt, dress. Why don't you wanna dress up? Why don't you wanna wear a sari?" Like, I prefer a salwar over a sari,
Mm.
as I think saris are absolutely beautiful, and I really appreciate them on someone else, but,
Yeah,
like, on me, it's just for me, I'm uncomfortable with it for now. Maybe if I wore it again and again, I wouldn't be, but,
yeah.
I think that there's yeah, something really important about just pausing and knowing who you are, checking in with your gut. What makes you feel empowered? That's really the question to ask and go with it. Thanks so much for listening. And just a reminder that the information that you are hearing through the podcast, whether that's through us or through anybody we might be interviewing, that the content is not meant to be therapeutic in any way. It is not therapy. If you do feel like you need some support, please go and seek out a mental health provider. The information is really meant for educational and entertainment purposes. Thanks again, and don't forget to follow.